So this sharing that I will do will take about 30 minutes before you all can, perhaps, type along the way, can type some questions, should you have, into the Q&A section where my colleague have mentioned earlier. So I just want to start, with this quote that is on the screen, all right, that has been taken up from the Design Educational Report. So this is a report by the Design Singapore Council. It is an initiative that brought together practitioners, industry players, educators, okay, and to pull together to factor out what will drive the future economy with design, the skill set, the competency for what is for the future of design. So if you look at the keywords here, it's future economy, integrated knowledge, design-led thinking, transdisciplinary collaboration. So how do the different practitioners of different disciplines come and work together? Okay, so this would be what I will cover, okay, in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so let's start with the course rationale. Okay, so this course, okay, is crafted and informed, right, by the Design 2025 vision, and it aims to produce graduates with the ability to collaborate across design domains. All right, so to encourage interdisciplinary practices, a lot important. Okay, the user-centered approach. Okay, so for example, I'm sure many of you have walked into Apple Experience Store before. So has it occurred to you how the retail experience has changed in the last 5 years at least? What is it that makes this experience different? So how does understanding retail spaces in relation to user experience, to brand communication plays a part? So that is what the course will allow you to investigate and perhaps even, find solution to. All right. So there's also the awareness of VUCA. Okay, so if you're familiar with this term, it's actually volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Okay, so an awareness of the VUCA world to take design to the future. So how do you solve problems with awareness of all these changes that's going around us? Okay, the capacity to support creative entrepreneurship as well. So in regards to these 2 points, well, I'm not sure, perhaps you might have heard that, COVID has changed a lot of all this consumer habits, retail experience, so some food for thought. How do you think fashion and gaming come together? What kind of relationship do you think it has? So just to share, okay, there's this Singapore-based company, okay, Unmateriality. So it spells as UNMATEREALITY, Unmateriality. It actually digitized and gamified the luxury fashion into a game that's called ADA. So what is this change about? How did business model change with design thinking? So maybe you can Google a bit and understand a little bit more, but these are the things that this course will provide you an opportunity to investigate and develop. And of course, an aptitude to manage diversity. Okay, so some of the key skill sets that you will expect to achieve at the end of this course, okay, would be the design criticism and future, okay, service design knowledge, research capabilities, business and management skills, global knowledge, collaboration across discipline. So this would be, some keywords or rather skill set that you will achieve at the end versus a diploma, which is focused on just foundation, technical skills, and collaboration only within a discipline. Okay, so if I move on to mode of studies, all right, you can expect that this is a 3-year course, all right, 3 academic years that's divided into 3 stages. So each stage is 28 weeks, all right, and students are expected to commit an average of 42 to 44 hours per week. So this includes the taught program as well as the independent studies. Okay. So throughout these 3 years, students will attend studios and classes as a cohort together, all right, picking up technical skills pertaining to your interests and projects needed along the way. So what you can expect if you come in the first year, all right, this would be typically for the year 12 students or the A-level students. Upon enrollment, you will select a domain. All right, the 4 different domains would be 3D, fashion, spatial, and communication. So to pick up one of this domain and kickstart your design foundation. So you can expect to be design specialists equipped with specialized technical skills in this respective domain. For example, it could be product designer, fashion designer, graphic designer, anything within the creative aspect of design, communication, 3D, spatial. Okay, so if I move on, all right, okay, along the way, okay, the design practice course prepares you with a set of transferable skills, okay, to meet the demand of the future. Okay, so students will be trained to apply multidisciplinary perspective, okay, armed with what you have, the technical competency to fulfill problems, to identify, to solve problems that are user-centric. And this is grounded on a practice-led and industry-based learning pedagogy. So there'll be this theory and practice that you need to integrate to make informed design decision. Students will be given opportunity to work on live clients project throughout your studies, as well as undertake a 10-week internship in your final year. All right. So you can expect that in your year 2, in your year 3, you will move to, beyond, to develop yourself beyond the technical design domain, such as even management, service, organization design, and even apply this in probably even a non-design context, okay, using your design-led thinking. So students will hone their collaborative skills to explore opportunity. All right, this is really to see design as a synergy of all the different perspectives and disciplines. Okay, so this really emphasizes what I've been talking about before, really coming together and solve things in the real world context. So student-led project will be undertaken in the final semester of the course. Okay, so other distinctive feature, okay, would be the interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary learning space. So there will be opportunity for you to work together using design thinking to solve problems. And yes, service design and business management will be integrated into the design studio in your second year. Okay. And also understanding the current issues and future trends. Okay, so take for example the gamification of luxury brand, which I talked about earlier. So how does the social context or the economic context has changed across, and how does this evolve? So understanding cultural issues, current issues, be it in terms of economy, social, technology, and environmental context, how does it impact, okay, you as a designer, okay, to develop or to integrate design within the community. So this course will have a very strong Southeast Asia focus as well. So NAFA spirit and the Southeast Asia dimension is what we are proud with. And this raising this critical discourse while opening new perspective is really to look across again the landscape, be it as a history, okay, or as a current, or as a future. How does this contribute to your practice and research around the region? So this Southeast Asia masterclass, okay, kickstarts at the beginning of every semester, and serve as a stimulus to the learning environment with respect to cultural heritage incorporated into the course. And of course, okay, as I was saying, this course is based on a very practice-led and industry-focused curriculum. So be expected to work with live clients, be placed on an internship as part of the course requirement. So modules such as Design Studio, Design Futures, and Insights will enable students to develop skill set and relate to the design toolkits while responding to challenges, real-world challenges in a creative manner. Okay, and well, aside from honing all your different skill set, I think what is important is really understanding, what is the behaviors and attitudes as a creative professional. So professional development plan will be part of this, okay, that helps you develop your personal and professional goals. So this will be conducted via a series of guided sessions, tasks, okay, to develop or to help you, support you in achieving your goals. Okay, last but not least, all right, okay, there's always the international placement. So do expect, okay, to spend 7 weeks on an international placement in London with UAL. This model will be taught by faculty from UAL, and students have the opportunity to study alongside with the students and integrate with the multicultural aspect, okay, and of course to collaborate. Yeah, and as I was saying, there's also the live client and internship. All right, so there's also the 10-week of internship or live client project that will allow you to apply your insights, knowledge, into a real life situation. Okay, so let me move on to this course diagram that will probably give you a better idea of what is expected on each year of your course. Okay, so in your degree year 1, okay, there will be 2 different blocks, okay, starting with drawing and making, okay, and moving on to Design Studio 1A. So drawing and making is where you will attempt domain-specific workshops. Okay, and this is where you will be equipped with the specialized technical skills in your respective domain you have chosen. All right, and when you move to, or rather these 2 modules are run sort of concurrently, all right, during the same period. So in your Design Studio, okay, do expect to come together, all right, and understand research skills, design aesthetics, and the whole process of studio practice, the whole process of creative-led thinking. Okay, so this is where collaboration will take place. Okay, and in your year 2, okay, so as mentioned earlier, you will be attempting service design and business management. All right, and alongside, okay, there will be also design futures and insights, okay, which allows you to develop the understanding of ethical issues and sensitivity. What are some of these sustainable factors that comes in the picture, and how to design for the future, or what are some foresight that you could have. So again, in Design Studio, that's where the collaborative practice happens. Okay, and within your own specialization, or even if you choose to cross-specialize, okay, and work collaboratively in a different domain, it is possible to do so. And of course, international placement, all right, that is something that will be a very interesting experience. Okay, this will happen in block 4 in your year 2. Sorry. Okay, so moving on to your degree year 3, okay, this is where the live client project comes in. This is where your internship comes in, okay? And this is also where the interdisciplinary space will happen. So, this is an intensive month-long workshop where you work collaboratively and respond to a design proposal, or rather, develop a creative and responsive design proposal. And under block 6, you have a student-led project. So you could choose to work individually or within a group to process, formulate, and develop a body of creative work to be presented to the client. Okay, so this diagram illustrates the pathways of the diploma and degree studies. So under the, or rather, okay, if you're looking at this block, all right, diploma qualification, if you have completed a 3-year diploma, okay, you may move directly to a degree year 2. All right, so this is upon your completion of the diploma in a relevant field. Okay, I'll move on to that later. Okay, the A-level student or the year 12 student will then, okay, apply to enter degree year 1. Okay, so with this, all right, a relevant diploma in design from NAFA or a recognized institution will be necessary. Diploma's transcript, of course, must indicate a passing grade in all of this equivalent diplomas. Okay, what is necessary, okay, be it for year 12 students or A-level students or students who are attending, applying to go straight to year 2, would be a statement of intent of about 250 to 300 words, plus a portfolio which consists of 10 to 15 words. All right, so there'll be a portfolio workshop later you can attend to understand more. And just to take note, all right, diploma grads who come from a non-speaking or rather non-English speaking country need to have IELTS 6. So this is just to reiterate what is necessary for the admission. Okay, you can find out the more details also on the admission page. So just to repeat, statement of intent, okay, is necessary with a body or portfolio. IELTS 6, IELTS 6 for applicants with non-English speaking countries. Okay, for those who are applying to year 2 directly, will need a relevant diploma with passing grades in all modules. Okay, so you might be interested to know, okay, so after all this, what can I be expected to look forward to in my career path? So some of the intended career paths would be, as a designer, as a creative, be it a content writer, visualizer, storyteller, creative technologies in design consultancies. So, it could also be, very specialized technical skills in the respective areas that you're looking at. Okay, or rather, domains that you're looking at. Some other pathways would be beyond, okay, just a design domain per se. Okay, it could be, say, a facilitator using design as a basis of thinking, a project manager, a researcher across industry, okay, from healthcare service to financial services to professional services and even public services. So yeah, so be it, okay, you are there to develop skill set within a domain and using this domain to transcend into a wider pathway, okay, to process design, to change management with design, or to improve the company process through design thinking. Okay, these are all possible. So just to conclude, okay, so this course would be for you if you are interested to look at design, okay, as a holistic entity, okay, and by solving issues and reframing problems through all these industry-led life projects or through your student-led project. Okay, so that sort of concludes what I have to share for the course. So I'll bring this back to my colleague. All right, Monica, to share, or rather to give you more details.
Okay, can. Right, you may have caught a glimpse of this slide just now. Okay, so like what Christabel had mentioned briefly just now, if you are an A-level graduate or you have a local poly diploma, but it's not related, like you did engineering or something, then you will be applying for year 1. And if you have a relevant diploma from NAFA or recognized institution, you can apply to enter year 2. So that's 2 years. So for the English, if you didn't study in English throughout your education, you have to have at least IELTS 6 with at least 5.5 in each subject. So what do we mean by throughout your school education? It means like if you are studying in Singapore throughout, then definitely it will be English. So you would have met the requirement. But if you were from, let's say, China, your education was not in English. So you will need to have IELTS 6 even if you have already completed a diploma from NAFA, all right? Degree course fees. So right now we are talking about design practice. For Singapore citizens, your course fees with tuition grant is 8,600 per year. For permanent residents with tuition grant is $12,050. For international students without tuition grant is 27,000. All right, this is also the same for fine art, and for performance making, it will be slightly more expensive. Other fees will be, like miscellaneous fees, 100 per year for administrative fees, 300 per course for your fee protection scheme, and $60 per year for your insurance fee. Okay, there's this thing called a loyalty rebate. What is this? It's basically like a discount for full fee paying students. So if you have just completed our NAFA diploma and you're an international student paying full fees, you will be entitled to this rebate, which is about 1,500 per year, which is up to 3,000 for 2 years. Okay. This tuition grant is applicable for Singapore citizens and PRs. So if you remember the course fee that I showed you just now, those course fees have already included the tuition grant. Okay. Other financial schemes include the PSEAs. This is basically your, what do they call it? The EduSave. When you were in primary school and secondary school, it's called the EduSave. So after that, it becomes a post-secondary education account. You can also apply to use the CPF education loan. Basically, you are loaning from your own or your parents' CPF savings. After you graduate, you have to pay back to the CPF account that you nominated on top, add on to the CPF interest rate, yeah? And then there's the Mendaki TTFS, which is for our Malay students. It depends on your monthly household income. You can get up to 50 to 100% subsidies. Okay, there are also bond-free scholarships offered by NAFA. It is open now. You can go to our website, nafa.edu.sg/scholarships to find out more. Some key dates for application. So if you apply now, we will have a portfolio interview from March to May. Of course, that is given that you have already submitted your documents and your portfolio before we can interview you. And then after that, we will have your results about 4 to 6 weeks after that. And then we will have your orientation from 2nd August and your course commencement 1 week later. Okay. Whoop, lagging. Okay. So if you're interested, you can scan this QR code to apply now, or you can just get this link. Joyce, could you copy and paste this link into the chat function? Application fee is waived until 31st of March, yeah? So apply quickly.